There's a million toys for a million different boys. There's only one that I like. There's a million toys for a million different boys. There's only one that I like.
Okay, this is a review today of one of the Gerber Machete range. This is the Gerber Junior Gator Machete. Name's just going up here now. This is a fantastic little knife, very cheap. I got this for $20 US in America, which is about 16 English pounds. And it's a disposable sort of knife, I suppose. If you lost this or broke it, I wouldn't be too upset. But I keep this in my vehicle. I do a lot of off-road driving, and if you're coming down lanes where there's sort of undergrowth or trees falling down, this is the fantastic knife for it. Quick run through of it very quickly. So you get a sheath that comes with it for that price, and a lanyard over the top, little Velcro strap that undoes, and we take the blade out. So putting the sheath to one side, there's a little plastic backing to it so that it doesn't cut anything, and it's bolted together through the blade side down here to keep it a little bit extra strength. And at the back here's a belt loop as well, should you need it. Coming on to the knife very quickly then, as you can see, it's about a fairly decent sized blade. And I think this is a 12-inch blade on here, coming up into centimeters then, because we work in the metric system over here. We're looking there as a blade of about 25 centimeters, so that's coming in at about 25 centimeters for that blade, which is a decent length. Cutting edge comes right round to a point at the top up here, which is very useful, and then under the backside here is a serrated edge for tree felling or cutting through branches. The knife itself, it's fairly thin steel all the way along it. It's not a very meaty knife. You can't really get a lot of weight to it. You can swing it quite well. It's bolted through here. It's not a full tang, so this is a rubberized handle. It bolts through. The blade comes to about here in the handle, so it's a fairly decent weight to it. But like I say, because it's a fairly thin steel, you're not going to really swing it too hard. This is more for shrub clearing, getting rid of a few branches. This isn't for basic chopping down a tree or felling anything serious. It's more of a sort of a carry-on if you want to basically clear a path or cut down some undergrowth. It's a decent blade on it. I mean, Gerber knives are always fairly sharp. This is quite nice. There's a loop at the end here which you can attach, and the main thing, the main safety device, is a lanyard at this end. Now, a lot of people, what they do is they put their wrist straight through the lanyard like that, which is wrong, and I'll tell you why in a minute. Because if you're then going to use the blade and you've got the lanyard on, it won't fly off your hand, but what it will do is if you suddenly come to a stop, your hand has got enough slack in it there to slide up, and you can get the serrated part at the back, or on the reverse side, you can actually slice your hand on the blade. So that's too loose. So I can touch the blade with my hand on the lanyard like that. What you need to do, you need to loop it over the top. So put my hand through the bottom like that, through, and then come over through the thumb and first finger with the lanyard, and then grip the knife on the back edge like that. Now I can't bring my hand any further forward than that. I can't even touch the metal blade now. I can just about get it with those two fingers, but that is a safe way of using this blade. So your handle is not going to fly off. It's not going to go in any weird direction should you let go, and also your hand isn't going to slip any further forward. So a little bit of a piece of advice there, and a lot of people don't realise that, is you need to bring the loop through the first finger and the thumb just to hold it on the blade like that. It doesn't adjust, it doesn't change the grip at all in any way. You can still use the blade as much as you want, but at least you're not going to cut your hand should it slip down or catch on something as you're cutting. So it's a great knife. Like I say, comes in at about 12 inches blade. There is a larger version. This is the junior version. The larger version is about another 4 inches longer. So that comes in about 16 inches. I got this from REI in America. It was $20 US, very cheap, but at the same time actually quite useful. And like I say, I keep it in the vehicle should I need to come to cut down any undergrowth. It's a lot cheaper than carrying a chainsaw in the vehicle, and pretty much does the same sort of job. It's a bit slower obviously, but good for cutting down branches and a bit of undergrowth. So that's the review there of the Gerber Junior Gator Machete. I like it. It's very cheap, very easy to use. Good cutting surface on this side, very good serrated side on the saw on the back side. Does actually work fairly well, and using quite a pressure on it, you can cut through some fairly decent wood. So if you like this review or any of the other reviews I've done, don't forget to check out those reviews on this channel. Like or subscribe to this channel, and hopefully I can keep posting more reviews of gear that I've used and tested on a daily basis, and keep you updated with any new ideas that come about, and see if I can find any more fancy bits of tech and gadget in my house that I can then review a little bit later.